Newsfirst Newsline with Faraz Shaukutali.
And a jolly good morning. This is Newsline, live from the Newsfirst studios in Dawson Street in Colombo. And joining me this morning is that rather eminent legal personality, President's Counsel, and amongst several other things, including Director of the TRC, is Mr. Hemanta Wanakulasuriya. Wonderful morning to you, Hemanta.
Good morning, Faraz. Good morning.
And thank you very much, Mr. Wanakulasuriya, for being on the program. What have you observed? You came here and you told us about the President's speech and so on, but since then various things have happened. We've had the resignation, the bribery commissioner accepted, and things seem to have changed a bit. We had the FCID making an arrest, an almost unthinkable event happened, the arrest of businessman Thirukumar Nadesan, who then got bail. But various things happened. Do you think the President should make even more speeches?
No, I think the President will never interfere with a fair investigation.
Yeah.
The President came with a solemn promise to expose the corrupt elements of the previous regime and fight against corruption. Now, when he said this, I completely believed him. I remember one small incident when the President came to Italy to attend the SLP conference.
This is President Rajapaksa?
No, President, when Mr. Maithripala Sirisena, the Secretary of the SLP, when he went to President Italy, he stayed with me for 1 week. And then I took him. The people wanted to give him some present. He refused, whereas other politicians live on the Italians, live and eat on the Italians. They don't pay their bills. It's a shameful, disgraceful behavior because this extension of what they were doing in Sri Lanka happened there. The only exception was Mr. Maithripala Sirisena, then Minister of Health, and then also or Mahavali, or also the SLP Secretary. Then we took him to Naples to see the famous buried cities, and there the people wanted him to give a present. He refused. Ultimately, with great difficulty, we bought him a pair of shoes. I thought, this person is different. This person is different. Where I have got instances where SLP ministers came, went and dined and wined at certain places, certain hotels, did not pay the bill.
So what happened?
What happened? We have to, certain people had to go there and stay there. Almost he was a hostage of the hotel until the bills are paid. So that is why I say I think the President is never against a fair investigation. I think the President came to know there has been a pattern. In all these investigations, they were trying to investigate the members of his own cabinet, especially the SLP members. And they were trying to bring them to court on frivolous charges. I mean, technically, yes, if you look at the law, this may be an act of corruption where, at that also I do not know, where Faucian was concerned. But then there
was no need to have 15 sort of rookie policemen to watch this questioning of the minister. Where's the decorum gone?
That's precisely so. Therefore, and then also the manner in which, say he had, I believe, no relationship with Gotabaya Rajapaksa or anyone. But then, when they wanted him remanded on an open inquiry where the investigations have not even begun, they have to, usual procedure was not followed. Then who gave the direction to remand him? I'm very sorry to say there are certain people who are supervised, certain lawyers who have their personal vendettas, personal agendas, who give advice to the bribery commission, this Secretary General. How can a person like Krishanta Valyamuna, right? Who is in that thing? Give advice to them. She must be independent. So ultimately, what happens? There is a perception that the primary commissioner was acting on the directions of certain people. Ultimately, the directions came from the UNP to stifle, to cut the grass under the feet of President Maithripala Sirisena. And this is what happened. Now, there is a very big story. No one knows how this Sunday in the Australian newspaper, allegation of bribery appeared.
Yes, that's right. It seemed rather odd.
No, it's all planted. And I think the investigation revealed planted by somebody in this government. So therefore, I believe this whole setup is to make Maithripala Sirisena very weak. Now, what is the objection, or what is the allegation, or what do they say about Maithripala Sirisena? He is not strong enough. He has not asserted himself. He has permitted the UNP to run the government the way that they want. But this is the first time I raised to him. He has shown the world that he is not a weakling as people try to portray. He has been able to tell them in no uncertain terms that he will not tolerate this kind of investigation. Even recently, when they went, hordes of policemen went with a warrant, of course issued from magistrate, went to the estate of Mr. Velgama and were looking for an armored car. They say, how some people went with bulldozers and dug the soil of Neville, the security guard of Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa. Faraz, I'm sorry.
What were they looking for? Money?
No, they are looking for money or gold, not this. Somebody says, the absolutely unbelievable, unscientific, unprofessional investigation. Now, what are these?
Sensationalism.
But they don't find anything. So ultimately it goes out. And ultimately, who ordinary SLPS feel did the work of Maithripala Sirisena.
But when they dug up the swimming pool at Peacock House, they did find something. It was a single rubber slipper.
Yeah. So
I'm not sure if it was the left foot or the right foot. But that's the thing is, some people will argue, Mr. Wanakurusuri, that this is all politics.
No, that's right. So why should the president be subject to this? Now, what happens when these things happen? The blame go to the UNP. They go to Maithripala Sirisena. They are under the impression that Maithripala, absolutely not. This man has no vendetta. He has no grudge. He has no. We must thank him. We must thank our stars.
Do you think people are missing, the people who are criticizing this statement, do you think they're missing the point? That he didn't actually say, don't investigate them. What he did say was, investigate them in a proper manner.
Fairly. Now I'm asking you, Faraz, this charge of corruption brought against this Gotabaya Rajapaksa and others is based on the new act brought by GLPDs. Now, if you cause loss to the government, that is corruption. Technically, yes, there may be, because originally I was told that the contract signed by the Navy and the Avant Garde was 33%. They have been reduced to 25%. But then the charge is they defrauded 7 billion or 11 million, of which 4 billion have been paid back. So these charges cannot be maintained. But what I'm trying to say, even if that is so, investigations have only begun for us. My position is, for the last so many years, after this new act came in, hundreds of people have been produced in court on allegations of corruption. But they were never remanded. There was no application made by anyone to remand them. Now here, they brought that special dreaded certificate signed by the Commissioner General and at the behest of the 3 commissioners. requesting the court to remand these people until the conclusion of the trial.
Yeah.
Right? And they have absolutely there is no way in which these people could get bail unless they show exceptional circumstances. Now, why is that? In this particular case, which is no different from any other case, they took this extraordinary step of filing a certificate. It is political vendetta. Moment the investigation is carried out with political vengeance, not to find the truth, then what happened? We have a situation like in other dictatorial countries, like in Russia, like in China, where everything is framed. I totally fought against Chandrika Bandara Kumaratunga, but she had, in her own career, she had only 3 or 4 commissions, and on those commissions, they were trying to find out the UMP members guilty. They want to find out, they want to show that Premadasa killed Vijay Kumaratunga, Premadasa killed Laditha Taramudri, and Premadasa killed Vijay Kumaratunga. But what happened? Yes. Ultimately, the Supreme Court just threw them out. Yeah. So my position is, and ultimately my position is, Chandrika was an utter failure because she concentrated, she lived on the publicity that the media gave on these commissions, but she never did anything for this country. Now,
there is an anomaly now. How can one reasonably expect the former President Chandrika Kumaratunga to be on a committee, an oversight committee looking into corruption and so on? It's an absolute joke.
You should include not only Chandrika Kumaratunga, that other the so-called the professor Sarath Vijay Surya, who is supposed to be the kingmaker. He believes that he is the person who made this government, he can break this government. He was the utter non-entity. When Mahinda Rajapaksa was doing various things, he never even opened his mouth. He went into hibernation. Now he believes, with all the other civil society friends, that
but all these people think and behave as though they are sort of little mini presidents.
That's absolutely.
And they're not letting, not that they're not letting, but they seem to be blocking the progress that President Sirisena has. And also I think there is this tendency for the United National Party and its supporters to presume that this is their government.
Yeah.
They don't have a majority mandate.
Absolutely.
And there's only one man who's got the mandate, and that is President Sirisena. It's about time they respected that.
We have to accept the fact that the Maitripala Sirisena is the president of this country.
Quite.
And we must thank our stars and thank our God that he got elected this time and not Mahinda Rajapaksa. And also, also because he was the savior of this country from tyranny, and he has shown that he can save this country from tyranny. Now, the unfortunate thing is that they want to belittle him, they want to stifle him, they want to make him people feel that he's weak. So the first time he asserted. Now look at the statement he made even recently. He has said there was absolutely no reason for them to raid Mr. Kumar Velgamar's house. Now I believe we cannot go on like this. We must have a more scientific, proper investigation into the allegation of corruption or allegation of murder, not to remand people and get them to confess. Like the old system prevailed before the Magna Carta, where torture, confessions, and torture even in Britain. You torture a man, you get him to confess, and then after that you find him guilty on the confessions he made by extracting him, by torturing him. Now here you torture him by remanding him. You don't remand him for 16 months and tell them, look, tomorrow you can go out a free man, provided you make a confession, make a statement, I did this at the behest of so and so. Now this is appalling. This must be arrested. This must be cleaned up. The police must not be encouraged. There are few people in the police department who does that. They want confessions extracted. They are not conducting the inquiry the manner in which it is conducted, so that we can find the truth. It's all falsehood that is coming out as after the inquiry.
Thank you, Hemant Varnakusuri. Now, I want to tell you this. Today in Parliament, there's a COPIS meeting again, and it's essential for this watchdog to, don't you agree, to ensure that the people's concerns and the people's interests are looked after. And what I don't understand, Hemanta, is this, that everybody says that nothing went wrong. One section says that. The other section says, well, actually, we beg to differ. So isn't the best thing to do to have a full-on investigation?
Yeah,
and there's no real need to sort of to hide behind excuses.
Yeah, my position for us, the whole world, the entire country is making allegations against Arjuna Mahendra and others. Maybe baseless, maybe without any merit, but they are making allegations. Now, how can you, when these allegations are made, when the SLP secretary makes a statement to the Primary Commission stating that, complaining about this alleged fraud that has taken place, it is up to the government to investigate. My position is here. I think there is certain, even President Sirisena has failed to appreciate that. He may have to cover up his political.
I think that's not quite fair, because we have to understand this, Hemanta, that we are now living in a system where the independence of the judiciary and the independent commissions and so on are in place. So it wouldn't be cricket for President Sirisena to poke his fingers at every second. And so he needs to watch.
No, I beg to disagree. Now, this has gone on for so many months, more than 18 months. This happened at the very inception of the government. Now, if nothing is forthcoming, I mean, Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe should readily agree for a presidential commission to be appointed.
I don't know why he needs to agree. I think the president ought to.
If he doesn't agree, president can, by his writ, can appoint a presidential commission to go into this matter, and perhaps they may exonerate Arjuna Mahendra or Naushad, or they may find them guilty. So what is necessary is there must be transparency. People.
That's right. There must be transparency. You're right.
And also, that's a part of good governance. Now, I would like to mention, they always talk about Lee Kuan Yew. When Lee Kuan Yew first came into power in 1958, his right-hand lieutenant in the political arena, who actually made Lee Kuan Yew the Prime Minister of Singapore, went and committed the big fraud by giving landing rights to a certain airline, and then they found there was a corruption. Lee Kuan Yew was away in New York. When this happened, they could not know. They didn't know what to do, because the secretary, he was almost deputy prime minister. He told Lee Kuan Yew, they informed and told him, sir, what have you got? What should we do? The allegation is pointing out at your deputy prime minister. What did Lee Kuan say? Lee Kuan said, forget it was whether it's the prime minister or the deputy prime minister. Do according to law. Do according to what you think is correct. What happened? This man was arrested, questioned. Before the remanded, he committed suicide. Now, that is the example we are quoting. The UMP is always referring to Lee Kuan Yew or Singapore. Then I believe this instance, President Maithripala Sirisena must come forward and make a statement and then inform, establish a commission to investigate. You know, for
perhaps
even in COPE, they only make it's a fact-finding mission.
Indeed.
You can't do anything.
So perhaps the President is waiting because COPE is nearing the end of their of that process.
Yeah.
But you know, I hope that one of the most important decisions in recent times was a decision made by the Monetary Board in January 2008 that private placements would be only limited to EPF, ETF and NSB. In short, not to other private dealers. And that too only for 3 months. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is in the auditor's report. I hope that that information is also available with members of COPE. You know, that information that was in the auditor's report. I hope that is the auditor's report is complete and in full. And I would urge members of COPE to do as their conscience states and as their conscience is surely has to be aroused. And they need to remember that the people elected them in. Now, there is no need in such matters to be partisan and to toe a certain party line. Which party worth its salt is going to toe a line of corruption and you know, against the norm policies? So really, we have a case where the former governor of the central bank, Arjuna Mahendran, he admitted to the then director of English News of this channel, to Shamir Rasuddin, in a recorded conversation in which he admits to a failing on his part. He says very clearly that he takes responsibility for the very important bit, that the primary dealers were not informed that the requirement had increased from 1 billion and that the take-up would be 10 billion or more. This is not fiction. This is fact, and we have it on record. He said it. He says in his own words, I take responsibility for that. Now, he also says that he didn't have the time and so on. I mean, how long does it take to punch a few lines into an email and send it electronically? So, these are the facts that are widely known to the public, and it has caused a huge public commentary on this matter, and it is up to COPE to do the right thing by the people according to their conscience. I thought we'd say that, Hemant, because I'd say that because it's been a frustrating 15-16 months when the Sunday Times first brought this story out, and they were complaining at the increased rate when the rate was 9+%. A bond for 30 years was issued at 12.5%. Several months thereafter, we now find one company has made so much profit and so on, giving rise to
speculation.
Yes, that suspicion that something's not quite right, and COPE has been given this onerous responsibility of finding out what happened.
So, what is the role of the civil society? The civil society should have one objective. The objective is to unanimously decide to demonstrate and ask the government for an investigative process to determine whether there is a fraud or not. That is very, very important for the country, important for everyone. But if you do not do that, that means you are also running around a certain political party, save and clear the name of people without investigation.
True. What do you think?
Yeah.
Do you have hope? Do you have some confidence that the system will work itself out?
I have confidence in the President Maithripala Sirisena. I believe he could be told to do certain things in the right direction, and he will do it.
And so we watch with interest what's going to happen. But you know, all the papers for the island, for example, this morning, one of the headlines is "Cope. UNP MPs try their best to take Mahendran off the hook." Now, why is there so much? What I can't understand really, Hemant, is why is this almost concerted effort to seemingly be partisan? Surely the interest of the people needs to go beyond party politics and party ideology and so on.
Throughout history, governments in power, when they or their agents do something wrong, they go all out. They lie to the public to protect them. I can understand. I will tell you an example. When Vijayadas and Inachi was killed, the government said he made a confession that he was in this extrajudicial court, kangaroo court, and he was the chief executive who passed sentence on various people, which we find was an absolute lie, a confession recorded under torture. But then people like Mr. Ladit Tatulabdar went and said and tried to protect the officials who did this, because they think they are doing this for the government. Similarly, when Dodampe Mutara was pushed from the 4th floor and killed, the entire government, at that time the UNP government was behind the killers of Dodampe Mutara. They know, only occasion I knew, I came across where the government took a different stand, at least the president took a different stand, was when Maithripala Sirisena made that speech. He did not take the side of the officials, which ultimately culminated in resignation of the Commissioner General, because he wanted to show the people he will not tolerate this kind of harassment which emanates with a vengeance and revenge against the political opponents. I mean, whether Gotabaya Rajapaksa is responsible for any crime must be investigated, but it must be done according to law, according to precedents.
I want to quickly add here that I don't know that there is a certain section of the people who don't have much sympathy for the trials and the tribulations of the Rajapaksas and so on. But that's another story.
Yeah.
I think
no, I'm not defending Rajapaksas. I have come here right throughout, about the Abangard case. I personally went and met Mr. Rajendra Senaratne. With him I met the president. I want to prepare a dossier and show him why he should be arrested. But later, having studied all the documents, having spoken to the then Attorney General, having spoken to the then Solicitor General, I thought that their decision not to prosecute them was correct. And I was wrong in criticizing them.
Sorry, Hemant, as we come to the end of this morning's program, very quickly, in a few seconds as possible, you say that people have been tortured and so on. Have you come in your life as a lawyer, have you come up with cases where there's absolutely unimpeachable evidence that a person has been tortured by the police?
There are several series of cases in the Supreme Court,
right,
fundamental rights cases, where people have tortured and they extort confession, people have been killed, There are several instances. I know
Thank
a
you.
case where...
Thank you, Hemant. That was a question from one of our viewers. So thank you for asking the question. Hemant Warnakulasuri, thank you very much for remaining on the set this morning, and we look forward to welcoming you anytime on any of our programs and for your invaluable input. In the meantime, thank you for watching Newsline. You have a great day ahead of you. Take care and God bless.
Newsfirst Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.